we're in. Sander, welcome. Congratulations. How are you feeling tonight? I've been asking everyone, but how are you feeling, man?
Well, a part of me is exhausted. It's about 5 a.m. here in the Netherlands. Another part of me is exhilarated and can't sleep because this is honestly one of the most exciting moments in my admittedly short career so far. And I'm just really, really glad to be here. It's fantastic.
Amazing, amazing. Congratulations again.
Thanks so much. And also, thanks for for hosting this, for organizing everything. It's this is definitely. I was talking to Brian and Emmanuel in the other room just now. This is definitely a gang awards to remember.
It's unique. One. It's unique. That's for sure.
Very unique. Well, yeah, but it
maybe, works. Maybe for those who don't know, Deliver Us the Moon. For those who don't know your work, can you give us a setup and a brief overview about the game and your contributions and how everything came to be?
Yeah, absolutely. Deliver Us the Moon, I'm almost switching into pitch mode now. I've had this talk a million times in Gamescom and where
You're
not.
Just like turning off. It's that PR phase.
Yeah, I need to watch out with that. But in short, Deliver Us the Moon is all about just being an astronaut. It's about being out there in the cold desolation of space. It's terrifying, but it's also really majestic, and that's essentially what we've tried to capture: a captivating story that basically lets you assume the role of humanity's last hope, an astronaut, to recover a vital source of energy on the moon. And yeah, it's all about being out there, being alone. It's a very lonely journey, and really capturing or trying to capture this is what we've tried. The sense of movies like Interstellar and Gravity. These movies have been huge sources of inspiration for us. As for my contribution, I did the music and sound design for the game, and basically it involved years of working together closely with the Keoken interactive team. At first, I just did it for my studio. At some point, I was just taking my computer back from maintenance, and I thought, why don't I just drop it over at their office? And I never left. We're still working together now, and it's just fantastic. It's really cool to be with a team that recognizes the special things that audio can do for your game in terms of atmosphere, but also feedback and just overall clarity for the player. And I'm very lucky to have been a part of this team.
Yeah, and I'm curious, like, how big is the team? It sounds like you're very closely tied with all of the development.
Absolutely, yeah. All of us are pretty much involved with everything. Just today we had design discussions on another project, and basically everybody was just chiming in a productive manner, I should add, because not all big party meetings tend to be productive. But as for numbers, we're currently with 10 people, 10 developers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Healthy indie size, very much so.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's tough. Indie life is tough, but so far we're managing. The cat is escaping.
Gosh, I thought it was a plushie on the bookshelf for a second, but oh no, it's gonna be the only cat appearance of the. Oh, there's two cats back there. Oh man.
There's another one. Yeah, they're brothers.
There's two.
Twins. The only two in the nest.
My cats are in the other room. I'm not gonna let them. They're gonna destroy this, but. Oh no! Of course. I love it. I love it so much. So you're saying you're drawing some inspiration from these epic, huge films. Like when you think of space movies, you instantly lean towards Interstellar or Space Odyssey, these are giant kind of inspirations. But trying to walk in those footsteps, I can imagine like a similar feeling for jumping into a giant franchise like Star Wars or something. But it's just space as a whole. How did you manage that, and how did you decide to differentiate your music and sound from those giant mecha franchises that have kind of used space as a texture?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I guess or I personally draw a lot of inspiration from words themselves. So when someone comes up with a very striking description of something, that just really somehow that triggers melodies and textures in my mind. So once we put that down, it became I wouldn't say easy, but more doable to try to find our own flavor. But yeah, these movies they've really made their mark on the genre. So we definitely drew a lot of influence from them. In terms of instrumentation, for example, we really noticed that we enjoyed the organ in Interstellar. For example, we loved the synthy drones in Gravity, and it's basically I think you always make a mix of the things you know and then add your own little something to it, or you start with your little something and add influences from other things. And I think that's how we grew. We went through a lot of iterations. Currently, the soundtrack is 4 hours long, but we must have tossed away at least as much music, simply because we were so hell bent on getting the right musical sound. As for the sound design, we were going for a very realistic style to really get you immersed in this astronaut experience, and that meant that we didn't have to look out or just look out to not mimic somebody else's style. Of course, realism is not just a black and white thing. So there are many different choices and decisions you can make there. But all in all, it's about capturing what you think it would sound like for as much as you can, and then adding a lot of extra layers to it because that just makes it feel better.
You're right, absolutely. So one last question, and it was probably the thing I took away from the Twitch chat the most is why didn't the rocket behind you take off? You had your Zoom background
in the rocket. Game, man. That's your job. That's your job, not my job. You need to. That was actually just a still from the first level in the game.
Love it.
It was. The suits are actually.
It's very cool.
Yeah,
it's very cool. Awesome. Well, again, what was that? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
I was just gonna explain the suits, but I also noticed that you were about to wrap up, and that's fine too. I don't want to take up more of your time.
No, you explain it. Go.
All right. Yeah. So the suits look very legit, right? They look like
totally.
They could have been worn by an astronaut, but they are actually just we bought them from some random farmer here in the Dutch countryside. And he did not really understand what we were going to do with it. And I don't think any one of us really grasped how effective these suits would be. Because we've been taking them for the past few years to every event we've been to. It's GC, REX, PAX, E3, you name it. If we've been there, we've been wearing these suits. And people have come to recognize us with them, and so it's been very effective. You never have to walk up to someone and say, "Hey, I'm a developer, and I'm developing this game." It's always like, "Oh, it's the guys from Keoken Interactive and Deliver Us the Moon," because you really can't miss it. We stand out in the crowd. It's such an effective method. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you again, Sander, for coming out. Congratulations to you. On this award for Deliver Us the Moon, and like you said, man, it's just getting started. There's only more to come, and can't wait to hear more of what you do, man. Congrats again.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for organizing and the hosting. It's incredible. Have a good night.
Take care.
Good night, Sander. Thanks for joining us.